Hello, people. Hello, people. Hello, people. Good old Joe. Two disclaimers today before I begin. It could be loud on my end, so if you hear banging and smacking around, just be aware the kids are extra active today. So excuse that. I will be touching on some other things. I'll try to make sure not to say something that will get this a strike. I can't promise that I'll not say something that'll get a strike. Because some of the stuff has to do with sensitive issues that, platforms like TikTok and YouTube and Facebook don't like. So I apologize if it is said and then you can't share it. Hey, Kat. So, Mr. Biden, while he might be in the office of president, I am not going to address him as such. I'm sorry for whoever thinks that I need to give the office respect. You can kindly kiss where the sun don't shine. I'm not going to call him. I'm just going to call him Mr. Biden. See, I still put some respect on his name, just not what he thinks he is. Gave his little speech. Even saw that Miss Sake didn't even want to answer questions about the speech. I find that interesting. And I find that my stream is lagging too for some odd reason. Well, considering what I just looked up, it doesn't surprise me. Let's just put it that way. So he gave the little mandates about over 100 employees. You got to get them vaxxed or tested every week. Although that doesn't apply to the administration employees and government employees in the White House or administration or even Congress or the Senate. But who's counting that anyway? So first we're going to listen to the, in case you missed his actual, I don't want people to say I'm taking him out of context, like they like to say when you say something, they say. So I'm going to let him say it. And I'm not giving him the whole speech. It's 30 minutes long of absolute nonsense, but I'm just going to get to the vital points here. And then I'll go into some things and wrap it on up at the end here. So here is Sleepy Joe.
The progress we've made and the work we have left to do. And it starts with understanding this. Even as the Delta variant 19, as COVID-19 has been hitting this country hard, we have the tools to combat the virus. If we can come together as a country and use those tools. If we raise our vaccination rate, protect ourselves and others with masking, expanded testing, and identify people who are infected, we can and we will turn the tide on COVID-19.
Said that last year.
It'll take a lot of hard work. It's going to take some time. Many of us are frustrated with the nearly 80 million Americans who are still not vaccinated.
Whoa, Joe. Whoa, Joe. Whoa, Joe. Give me a minute here, Joe. So you're frustrated with people like me who refuse to take a vaccine for something they don't have and take a treatment for something they don't have that they probably won't get. And if they do get it, they can survive. Okay. Just want to make sure I got that completely right. Because mind you, so I'll interject this real quick because this is not misinformation. This is definitely what happened. So I decided to look up some interesting definitions. So let's see if I can bring that back up here. So the definition of the word vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity to a particular infectious disease. I want to read that again. This is the definition of a vaccine. Not my doctor's opinion, not me, misinformation opinion. This is the definition of it. A vaccine is a biological preparation that provides active acquired immunity, immunity, immunity to a particular infectious disease. The odd thing, the odd thing, um, I want you to hear something here. Changed. So, the CDC decides to quietly redefine the definition of a vaccine. Not sure you heard this. So they have changed the name, the definition of it, and I want you to read. I'll read for you the definition they gave. Okay, and how they are now putting it forward. Let me see if I can find here. A product that's listen carefully. Listen carefully. A vaccine was originally to stimulate the immunity, right? And so now they have now removed the word immunity from the definition. They've gotten rid of the word immunity. Ain't that something? They have now removed the word immunity. Hey, look, if you don't understand what's going on yet, I don't know how you will. I really don't know how you're going to understand it if you don't understand it yet. Oh my goodness. It's no longer about it being immunity development. You surprised at all? Are you surprised at all about this? Let me see if I can find exactly how they state it now. So, in case you wondered about what the immunity side stood for, it protects from an infectious disease. If you're immune to disease, you can be exposed to it without becoming infected. Okay. And so now what they changed it to. Okay, so vaccination okay, so the act of introducing a vaccine into the body to produce protection from a specific disease. So you know how they can absolve themselves from one, calling it a vaccine, and two, it not completely, well, doing what it's supposed to do. Because if it wasn't doing what it's supposed to do as an original intent, which was vaccinate you and make you immune, if it now can say it will protect, it'll leave room for you getting it still. I am not shedding bad information. I am telling you what happened literally. The first definition in 2015 was prevent. The next change of it came with immunity. And then now they say it is to protect from a specific disease. So I go back. If it's just for protection, then my immune system should suffice. If I'm going to take a risk either way because it's just a matter of protection, my immune system should suffice. But I'll let the clown continue.
Even though the vaccine is safe,
Not,
effective, and free,
not.
you might be confused about what is true and what is false about COVID-19.
You think? Yeah. Oh my God. Do you really believe that we might be confused? Could it possibly be because of all the oddball crap that you guys throw at us every other day that contradict the stuff you said the day before? Could it possibly be that? I'm asking for a friend. Could it possibly be because you throw out so many weird crap statements from your mouth every day, we just have a hard time keeping track? Take, for instance, when you said, Mr. Biden, you said, if you take the shot, you will not get COVID-19. Your words, after having consulted with your people before you went in front of a camera. However, that video was never considered medical misinformation. I don't see you being removed from platforms for saying that statement when it is inaccurate. No, I'm sorry, a lie. It's weird how only certain people get taken off platforms for saying wrong stuff. Huh. Almost like you have an agenda. Wow. Ain't that something? But I digress. Continue, Mr. Biden.
So before I outline the new steps to fight COVID-19 that I'm going to be announcing tonight, let me give you some clear information about where we stand.
Whoa. Hold on. I thought you were going to give me information about COVID-19. Isn't that, you said we were confused about? I'm going to back it up to make sure I get exactly what he said, right?
Before I outline the new steps to fight COVID, the vaccine is safe. The vaccine is safe, effective, and free. You might be confused about what is true and what is false about COVID-19.
Yes. Okay. So I did hear right. We might be confused about what is true or false about COVID-19. All right.
So before I outline the new steps to fight COVID-19,
since we have very little information about and we're confused about it, since that's the case,
that I'm going to be announcing tonight, let me give you some clear information about where we stand.
But I don't want to know where you stand. I want information about COVID-19. Like actual information about COVID-19. But let's see what he says.
First, we've made considerable progress in battling COVID-19.
What is COVID-19
when I became president?
Okay, but we're confused about COVID-19. What is COVID-19? Say I'm confused. Just say for the. Oh my God. Okay, I'm confused about COVID-19. You telling me we made headway, but what is? He's not answering his own question.
About 2 million Americans are fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Today, over 175 million Americans have that protection. Before I took office, we hadn't ordered enough vaccine for every American. Just weeks in office, we did. The week before I took office on January 20th of this year, over 25,000 Americans died that week from COVID-19.
Okay, I'm glad he said that. I really am. I'm glad he said that. Because I took some time to go talk to the CDC's website, go interact with it. And I found some weird information. I'm not going to lie. It's a little sketchy. It's a little sketchy. Again, this is not medical misinformation. I am going to be reading from the CDC's website. So YouTube, before you decide that this is a strike, I am reading from the CDC. This is not my opinion. This is the CDC. I want to make sure I say that in my video. I am not a doctor. not a virologist, just someone who can read. So I'm going to read from the CDC. Okay. I was curious about deaths and the reporting. So I went to the CDC to get some information. When determining whether COVID-19 played a role in the cause of death, in fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do one more thing. Open up another window. Nope, close that window. All right. Cause of death. Cause means a reason for an action or condition, the reason or motive or basis. Something that brings about an effect or result. So it has to cause. Okay. I want to make sure people understand what cause. It is the reason they died. It brought about their death. Okay. Cause. Played a role in the cause of death. Played a role in the cause of death. What I always look for is how they word things to get out of things to make sure they don't put themselves in positions to be held accountable. How did he die? What was the cause of death? Blunt force trauma to the head. What was it that really killed him, though? Oh, he was decapitated. So you mean after the blunt force trauma? Yes. So he wasn't dead when he got blunt force trauma? No. So it wasn't a cause of death? No. So you can't list it as a cause of death? No. Was it a contributing factor? Can't tell. Why? Because he got decapitated. That kind of sealed everything else off. So decapitation is the cause. Yes, decapitation is the cause of death. But however, COVID plays a role in the cause of death. So then they tell you, follow the CDC clinical criteria for evaluating a person under investigation for COVID-19. And where possible, conduct appropriate laboratory testing using guidance provided by CDC. Maybe I'm just confused, people. I'm like I said, I'm trying to find a way to make sure I say stuff without saying I'm saying things that they didn't say. So this is my question. When they passed on to the other side, how you don't know at that time what did it? Okay. But you can find out post that a virus did it. Okay. Alrighty then. Hey, just go with it. Just go with the flow. So I went to check what their guidelines were. If an autopsy is performed on a suspected COVID-19 case, collection of the following postmortem specimens and performance of the following tests are recommended. The swab, upper respiratory tract swab, and a lower respiratory tract swab. And then you do a reverse transcription polymerase chain reaction. Remains the gold standard for clinical diagnostic detection of COVID. Post-mortem swab specimens for testing of influenza viruses and other respiratory pathogens. Now, remember, they said that sometimes it's hard to tell between the flu and that. The reason I go into that is because of the numbers he quoted. I just want people to understand that not all numbers are created equal or arrived at properly. Do with that information as you will. I just find it weird that you're going to be able to adjust a death. Anyway, not trying to get a strike. Let him continue.
Last week, that grim weekly toll was down 70%. And in 3 months before I took office, our economy was faltering, creating just 50,000 jobs a month. We're now averaging 700,000 new jobs a month.
Hey, Joe. Hey, Joe, I got a question for you, Joe. In fact, no, you know what, Joe? I'm not going to ask you the question. I'm going to ask intelligent people the question. Okay, intelligent people. If people were working and there weren't many jobs available, notice what he's saying. He's created jobs, job openings. Not people working, job openings. Again, they word things to make it sound as good as possible. We created jobs. We're not saying that people are working. We just created jobs. So riddle me this, people. If I had 60 people and something happened and then I had to put 10 people at home and now 5 other people worked from home. So fired 10, kept 5, but 5 worked at home. I now have 45 people in the workforce. He comes along and he says, oh, look, I have created 10 more jobs because I've now opened things up for this job. Look at that, 10 more jobs right there. No, sir, those are not jobs you created. They're now available because last year we fired 10 people. Oh, so then I created those 10 jobs because they're open now. No, sir, they've been open. Yeah, that's what I meant. I created those positions. So every week I open up 700,000 more jobs. No, you didn't. That's just jobs that are unfilled now, that are open now. You know, the company puts them out there as jobs available now because that person is no longer working here because he got laid off because we couldn't keep him hired. You see how his numbers are? There's no creation of jobs. It's just like I tell people, if I'm tired of my home and I bring in a bunch of stuff into my house and I complain about how much space I don't have, and then I take all the stuff I had just brought in back out and I do, oh, look how much more room I have. No, you had the same amount of room like you did before. You just had a bunch of crap that you brought in that made it hard to see the room, and you just took that crap back out, and all of a sudden you have room. It's the same amount of room as you did before, still the same 10 by 10 space. This is how Joe's minds work. This is how the left minds work. Nothing was created, nothing was open, nothing was made. Vacancy is there because you created the vacancy. And then you look at the vacancy and say, oh, look, a new job is opened up. Joe, please stop. Just please stop. You guys understand it now?
The past 3 months. This progress is real.
And no, it's not.
But while America is much in better shape than it was 7 months ago when I took office, I
Really?
need to tell you a second fact.
Hmm.
We're in the tough stretch, and it could last for a while.
Yeah, I bet. I bet.
Highly contagious Delta variant that I began to warn America about back in July.
That you couldn't test for, still can't test for, but you know exists. Oh, I know why you know it exists. That's for a different video.
Spread late summer, like it did in other countries before us. While the vaccines provide strong protection for the vaccinated,
There's the word.
we read about and hear about and we see the stories of hospitalized people on their deathbeds among the unvaccinated over the past few weeks.
And vaccinated. I know of 4 personally.
This is a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
Just like it's a pandemic of the stupid. Starting with its captain over here, Captain Dingbat here. It's a pandemic of the stupid. And Joe Biden leads the way in stupidity. If painted rocks ever came to life, it would be like this. We are a pandemic.
By the fact that despite America having unprecedented and successful vaccination programs,
Really? Okay.
despite the fact that for almost 5 months, free vaccines have been available in 80,000 different locations, we still have nearly 80 million Americans.
That should tell you something, Joe. But no one said you were quick on the draw.
Failed to get the shot. And to make matters worse, there are elected officials
Here it is.
actively working to undermine the fight against COVID-19.
Listen.
Instead of encouraging people to get vaccinated and mask up, they're ordering mobile morgues for the unvaccinated dying from COVID in their communities. This is totally unacceptable. Third, if you wonder how all this adds up,
I do.
here's the math.
Mm-hmm.
The vast majority of Americans are doing the right thing.
That's not math, but
Nearly
okay.
3/4 of the eligible have gotten at least one shot,
Okay.
but 1/4 has not gotten any.
And your point?
That's nearly 80 million Americans not vaccinated.
You already said this, Joe. This is not new to the conversation. Did you not remember that you just went through a minute and a half saying that exact same thing already? Okay. All right. Pretty sure you said this already. Go ahead. You're just trying to make it fractionized now. Say, oh, yeah, fractions now. See, it still equals 80 million, but it sounds more egregious when I say it in fractions.
And a country as large as ours, that's 25% minority. That 20.
Let's see how many ways I can phrase the same thing over and over and over again. I didn't think he had the energy to beat a dead horse, but apparently this man has a lot more energy than he leads on, because he's been beating this dead horse for the last 2 minutes now of the speech. Joe, we are aware it's 80 million of us. I think you can move along. You can move along now. You can leave the dead horse, let it rot. Thank you.
25% can cause a lot of damage, and they are.
Oh, we are? Oh, okay.
The unvaccinated overcrowd our hospitals.
Huh.
Overrunning emergency.
Hold on. I want people to, okay. 80 million. He makes sure he emphasizes, and I see why he's doing this. You emphasize a large number of unvaccinated people. Then you say it's only the 80 million going to the hospital. And in your mind, most people's mind, you mean the hospitals are being inundated with 80 million people? No, because the infection rate among the 80 million does not equal hospitalization rates. But he wants you to make that correlation, hence why he harps on it so much. It is a mind game, people. if I can hammer into your head 80 million, then throw in hospitalization and vaccinated don't go to hospital, even though I know of someone in the hospital right now. I know of 4 that have died of COVID, not with, of COVID, in the ICUs, vaccinated personally. What is your logic behind that there, Joe? They're pulling up and filling up. Oh, but they're in the Democrats' minds, they are allowed to because they were vaccinated. But isn't it supposed to protect you? Yes, that's why we can help them transition into the other life, because they got okay. Oh, but and they can still give it, right? Yeah. How are they different than unvaccinated people again? Let's do a little math, like Joe likes to do. One person doesn't have COVID and he is not vaccinated. One person doesn't have COVID and he gets the vaccine. This person goes 5 days into the future, no COVID. This person goes 5 days into the future, catches COVID. This person goes to the ICU. This person doesn't. They don't report this person. That's their math. That's their math, people.
These rooms in intensive care units, leaving no room for someone with a heart attack or pancreatitis or cancer. And fourth, I want to emphasize that the vaccines provide very strong protection from severe illness from COVID-19.
Protection. Okay.
I know there's a lot of confusion and misinformation.
Yeah. Yep. Really. Okay.
But the world's leading scientists confirm that if you are fully vaccinated, your risk of severe illness from COVID-19 is very low.
What is very low, Joe? Is it lower than my 98%? I'll give you 98. 98% survival rate from COVID? Is it lower than that, Joe? You like numbers. You apparently like numbers. So give me a number, Joe. What is that percentage? I noticed that before you were harping on a lot of numbers. So let's see if he gives us some numbers.
In fact, based on available data from the summer,
yes,
only 1 out of every 160,000 fully vaccinated Americans was hospitalized for COVID per day. These are the facts.
Oh, really? Okay.
So here's where we stand. The path ahead, even with the Delta variant, is not nearly as bad as last winter. But what makes it incredibly more frustrating is that we have the tools to combat COVID-19, and a distinct minority of Americans, supported by a distinct minority of elected officials, are keeping us from turning the corner.
You hold on. So you have 170 million versus 80 million, and that 80 million is so strong that 170 million vaccinated can't combat. 1 out of every 100 and something thousand. I'm still not seeing your math here, Joe. Even if all 80 million of us, even if every one of the 80 million got COVID and were highly contagious to the point where we had your projections fulfilled 100%, we're not the problem. We are keeping you from taking the corner when you have 170 vaccinated, 170 million people? Methinks thou liest to us.
These pandemic politics, as I refer to, are making people sick, causing unvaccinated people to die. We cannot allow these actions.
Hold on. If the unvaccinated die because they decide to not get vaccinated, is that not their choice? How are so you're telling me on one hand that the vaccinated are in danger, but they're not dying. But you're concerned about the unvaccinated who aren't even concerned about themselves because we trust our bodies. You're concerned about us. Meanwhile, you tell us we can't work or eat unless we get a vaccine. So if we die of starvation, it's okay. But if we die of COVID, that's a problem. But you also say that the vaccinated people aren't dying. So what's your concern, Joe? 1 out of every 100 and something thousand people still get it after they're vaccinated, which tells me that you should be fine, even with the unvaccinated people going around. And if you're telling me that the unvaccinated are dying, that's on the unvaccinated. So who are we infecting, Joe? Ourselves. You get rid of the 80 million because by natural selection, Joe, you now can take your corner. You see how choice still works out? How is this difficult? Of course, no one's going to ask him that.
To stand in the way of protecting the large majority of Americans who have done their part and want to get back to life as normal.
Still not making any
As your
sense, Joe.
president, I'm announcing tonight a new plan to require more
I want to hear
specific measures in each by keeping businesses open.
Hold on.
As well as the FDA approval.
I want to hear one thing in particular that you need to
People
hear.
you care about. The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
There it is.
Tyson's Food.
There it is.
And even Fox News.
Here we go.
The bottom line, we're going to protect vaccinated workers from unvaccinated coworkers.
But Joey, you just finished telling us that you have a really high protection rate. 1 out of every 100,000 plus. And the unvaccinated are the ones dying, but they're also the ones you're putting out of work and out of the hospitals. What problem are we to the vaccinated, Joe? I don't get this. I cannot make the correlation. I can't bridge this. I'm sorry. I can't bridge this. Joe, make up your mind. Either you're safe or you're not safe with the vaccine. 1. 2, either we are killing the vaccinated or they're not dying. Oh, you're trying to promote this vaccine as really working, but then want to tell me that it's not working because of the unvaccinated people. It tells me that it's not working and that they're still dying. And so if I take it, I'm just going to be just like I was before. Oh, God, make it make sense. This hurts. This hurts the head. This hurts the head. Oh my God, bro. This this administration is like the biggest SNL skit ever. Like I have this running. I keep thinking maybe they'll pop out and say, "This is Saturday Night Live." I keep expecting that to happen. And for this guy to take his mask off, I wasn't really Joe to begin with. I was somebody else. He gets worse. Hold on.
We're going to reduce the spread of COVID-19 by increasing the share of the workforce that is vaccinated in businesses all across America.
Mm-hmm.
My plan will extend the vaccination requirements that I previously issued in the healthcare field. Already, I've announced we'll be requiring vaccinations at all nursing home workers.
By the way, none of his people are getting it, and he's not willing to tell you who in his administration is getting it. I want you to be aware he's not telling you anything about what he's getting, they have to do, their mandates. They're mandating for you, not for them. But there's a certain word I want you to hear.
Treat patients on medication.
See if I can find it.
Tonight, I'm using that same authority to expand that to cover those who work in hospitals.
Hold on.
That the people treating you are vaccinated.
Hold
you want
on.
to work with the federal government and do business with us, get vaccinated. If you want to do business with the federal government, vaccinate your workforce. And tonight, I'm removing one of the last remaining obstacles
Here.
to make it difficult for you to get vaccinated.
Uh-huh.
The Department of Labor will require employers with 100 or more workers to give those workers paid time off to get vaccinated.
So, does this sound like it's a targeted thing? Kind of like Obama did with Fast and Furious? Just food for thought. Think about that for a minute. Chew on that. Let that marinate in your mouth a little bit. See if that makes any sense to you.
Will affect about 100 million Americans, 2/3 of all workers. And for other sectors, I issue this appeal to those of you running large entertainment venues, from sports arenas,
Here he goes.
concert venues, to movie theaters. Please require folks to get vaccinated or show a negative test as a condition of entry into the nation's family physician.
I told you this guy was going to do this. This is the same fool that said, I would never mandate that. Mandates it. Not only that, weaponizes OSHA and LNI to do it. Wow.
Physicians, pediatricians. My message to unvaccinated Americans is this.
Yes, tell us.
What more is there to wait for?
Don't whisper to me.
What more do you need to see?
Plenty.
We've made vaccinations free,
So?
safe, and convenient.
So?
The vaccine is FDA approval.
Oh, it's FDA approval. The vaccine is FDA approval. Hold on a minute. So, do people know that fentanyl is approved by the FDA? Everybody knows this, right? The CDC also is fine with it. I want people to be aware of what's going on here. He says, oh, that's a criteria for people to be happy with. Since 1968, fentanyl got approved. Fentanyl. I'm going to say the word again. Fentanyl is approved by the FDA. So do not tell me that just because it's approved by the FDA, I should be all over it. No, thank you. I should be looking at what the item is, not by who approves it. I don't care if the CDC, the FDA, the WHO, Nickelodeon, CBS, NIA, I don't care who approves it. I should be able to approve it for me or not. Should be that simple, bro. Just.
Over 200 million Americans have gotten at least one shot.
Whoa. Joe. It's not the numbers you used before. But, hey, you know what? Just make stuff up as you go. Go ahead.
We've been patient, but our patience is wearing thin.
Oh, your patience is running thin. Joe, I'm going to say this out loud. If you were in front of me and you said that nonsense, I'd slap the stupid off of you. I sincerely would slap the stupid out of you. You want to see what patience running thin looks like? Oh, you're about to. You are about to see what patience running thin looks like. You are definitely about to see what patience running thin looks like. Your patience is running thin. You got some nerve, bro. You got some real nerve. You and your racist, disgusting human being self. You have some nerve talking about patience running thin. Oh, just wait. 80 million of us can easily show you what running thin patience looks like.
And your refusal has cost all of us. So please do the right thing.
First you threaten us,
Just
and
don't
then you're
take it
like,
from
do the right thing. Don't worry, we will.
me. Listen to the voices of unvaccinated Americans who are lying in hospital beds, taking their final breath saying, if only I'd gotten vaccinated.
I don't think they're saying
If
that at all.
only.
I don't think that's
It's a
what they're saying.
tragedy. Please don't let it become yours.
Oh, nice threat there, Joe.
Second piece of my plan is continuing to protect the vaccinated.
They should be.
For the vast majority of you who've gotten vaccinated, I understand your anger at those who haven't gotten vaccinated.
Oh, you understand their anger. You want to know how the best way it is to divide a country? Side with the ones that you like. When you're the head, you say stuff like that. Hey, I understand why you're pissed off. You should be pissed off. Look at them. You should be pissed off. They're not taking the vaccine. You should report them and stuff. Yeah, tell on them. Yeah. Who else did that? There was another guy in history that had the same mindset. I can't remember his name right now. Maybe it'll come to me later. I don't know.
I understand the anxiety about getting a breakthrough case. But as the science makes clear, if you're fully vaccinated, you're highly protected
Highly.
from severe illness, even if you get COVID-19. In fact, recent data indicates
More numbers.
there is only one confirmed positive case per 5,000 fully vaccinated Americans per day.
Okay, hold on. Joe. Bro, just make up your mind, man. Make up your mind about numbers. Please make up your mind. Oh. 1 in every 100 plus thousand. Now it's 1 out of every 5,000. That's quite the jump, Joe. Joe, that's quite a Joe, I can't make this. Joe. Joe. Oh my God, Joe. 1 in every 100,000, 1 in every 5,000 fully vaccinated people.
You're as safe as possible.
And he says you're safe as possible. Oh my gosh. Ow. Oh, that hurts. This is
And we're doing everything we can to keep it that way. Keep it that way. Keep you safe. That's where boosters come in.
Oh, that's where
The
boosters.
shots that give you even more.
This guy can't be real. You cannot make this stuff up. You can't make. I'm sorry, but you can't make this stuff up. You can't. I'm sorry. This is fantasy land at this point. This is fantasy land. You tell me the first time it didn't work, you're gonna give me something else that you say is gonna be even better. Oh my God.
Protection than after your second shot.
Then you're gonna need a fourth. Yeah.
I know there's been some confusion about boosters, so let me be clear.
Yeah. Tell us, doctor.
Last month, our top government doctors
Mhm.
announced
Mm-hmm.
an initial plan
Yeah.
for booster shots for vaccinated Americans.
Right.
They believe that the booster is likely to provide the highest level of protection yet.
Ooh.
Of course, the decision of which booster shots to give, when to start them, and who will give them will be left completely to the scientists at the FDA and the Centers for Disease Control.
Oh. Okay.
But while we wait, we've done our part.
All right. Let me get to the meat here.
Children ages 12 and older, the vaccine available for
Whoa,
them.
what was that?
The safest thing for your child 12 and older is to get them vaccinated.
Oh, okay.
Every caregiver around them, I will do everything within my power
There it is.
to support for them. I strongly support independent scientific review for vaccine uses for children under 12. We can't take shortcuts with that scientific, keeping the public at large updated on
Oh, hold on. I'm looking for one thing in
that's the
particular.
authority I possess to hire teachers at the schools run by the Defense Department, because I have the authority as president of the federal system, the Defense Department, and all teachers and staff.
Come on.
If they'll not help, if these governors won't help,
There it is. Listen to this.
pandemic, while their governor picks a fight with them.
Now, I want you guys to listen carefully to what he's going to say next. If this does not prove to you that this man is a tyrant and a dictator, I do not know what will. All jokes aside, the next statement out of his mouth completely negates elections. Negates them.
And even threatens their salaries or their jobs. Talk about bullying in schools. If they'll not help, if these governors won't help us beat the pandemic, I will use my power as president to get them out of the way.
And that is enough of Joe. He will use his powers to get governors out of the way. So say you voted for a certain governor. He won. And he is a certain mindset about the vaccine because the people that put him there want it that way. Mr. Biden here says, I'll just get him out the way. Remember, he said he's leaving boosters up to the CDC and stuff, right? I want to touch on one last thing, and this is the part where I have to be very careful. Do you remember me talking about a meeting called Event 201? I spoke about this a couple years ago, maybe a year ago now. Event 201. Event 201 was a meeting that took place to discuss global pandemics and the response we have to them, or I should say, they have to them. Well, I looked at the team that was there. I want you to hear a couple of the names, okay? Because they won't sound familiar to you. Jane Halton, Stephen Reed, Adrian Thomas, Matthew Harrigan, George Gao. I'm going to go through a couple of names here. George Fu Gao, Director, General Chinese Center of Disease Control and Prevention, Microbiology, Chinese Academy of Sciences, Biotechnology. A member of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, Okay. 1. Find the next guy. Adrian Thomas. Now, in fact, I'm going to leave him for last. I'm going to leave Adrian for last because he is the most interesting of all of them. Let's find Mr. Matthew Harrington. Matthew Harrington is a global chief operating officer of Edelman, and he is a advisor for companies that do advertising, mergers, communications. Listen to the type of people they had there, okay? Jane Halton, Australian. She's held membership in the Global Health Governance, and she's on the board, the chair at the WHO. Secretary of State of the Department of Finance. Stephen Reed. He is the Deputy Director for the Public Health Service and Implementation Science at the Center for Disease Control. The WHO, the CDC, and China. The WHO, the CDC, China, and Australia, where some of the most ridiculous laws are getting put down. You ready for the cherry on top of this sundae? This is the one that was like, to me, you couldn't make it up. You couldn't make this up. 2019 is when they met. 2019. October. Again, October 2019. COVID, not 2019. Following year. Mr. Adrian Thomas serves as the Vice President, Global Public Health at Johnson & Johnson. He is responsible for the global public health programs and strategy addressing global health security threats and pandemic preparedness, including antimicrobial resistance, multi-drug resistant tuberculosis, Ebola, dengue fever, HIV vaccines, amongst others. So, that is there for you to do what you will with the information. I will not say anything further on that. If you're going to have a meeting in 2019, you talk about a surprise thing happening in 17. You happen to have one of the vaccinator people, top ones there. You manage to have the WHO, the CDC, China. I'm just telling you who was at the event. If you know, you know. Not spreading any medical disinformation. I'm just saying that those are the people who were at the event and what their affiliations are. They are there at this meeting. Okay. They're there to prepare for this event that we're going through now so that it doesn't kill everybody. The event, of course, was sponsored um, by John Hopkins, the World Economic Forum, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Do with that information as you will. Okay? All right. My suggestion to you is that you're out of time to ride the fence. You no longer have this option of, oh, I don't know. You have to make a choice now. Make your choice. You should know everything you need to know about this by now. Make your choice. No more fence riding. I have made mine. Joe Biden, everybody. Joe Biden. Anyhow, I'll catch you guys up on another time, another day, another bat time, another bat channel. Well, we've arrived. Don't forget, wisdom calls to you from the street, people. Please, 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 please. Find wisdom. Find wisdom. Peace.